Hey, what's up, guys? Back from the deck profile here. Now, you guys really like the last train list I had. I've been playing a lot with that deck. The deck is still just insane to me. It's so much fun to play. It's like kind of protect the castle, but like if they can't deal with the fucking castle, they're just dead the next turn. So I was like, yeah, dude, let's go. Yeah, I got a nice clean 40 card list for you. Without further ado, Jan, fucking trains, dude. Couple honorable mentions and stuff to talk about just real quick after I do the deck profile with this deck. So, all right. So 3-night Express Night. Card's incredible. You can just normal. So it can't be special summon, normal summon, and attack becomes 0. 3 Duracranes, of course. Duracranes. This is probably the best card in the deck. And then 3 the Bullet. This is just the standalone 10 count. I think that's just completely fine where you want to be at. They are playing 3 of the Pegasus. Once again, this card is just insane too. There's also there's a play where you can there's a play too, like the revolving switch yard just kind of becomes like a mini monster reborn or whatever, because you summon back with the Zenga Knuckle and stuff. And I think I've talked about this in the past, but I just really like 3 Pegasus. So it also gets the ball rolling too, because you can discard one of the 10s for switch yard and then normal this if that's your hand. So card's incredible. And then we are playing 3 regulars.
The best card.
Yeah, this card's incredible. Another thing with this too that's really nice is because we're playing revolving switch yard, you can obviously just discard for switch yard, and then if you hard drew this because we're playing 3 of it and 1 of the field spell, you can just discard for switch yard to search and then immediately just go Regulus to summon. You know what I mean? And then you just don't have to worry about anything, because you're usually Juggernaut Taliba or something of that stature for game. And then we have 2 1-up monsters. I'm not playing any hand traps in the main. I just haven't needed them yet. So we are still playing the 1 Exodius. This is the card Reveal in Hand for cost. Shuffle every monster in your graveyard back into the deck, minimum 1. That is cost, like I said, so they have nothing. They can't do anything about it, so their effects are relevant. And the other one is the Astral Karibo. Super Dora is a number monster, so this card is just ridiculous. I was playing 2 last time. I just never felt like I needed more than 1 this time. So, and then for the spells, just a couple 1-ofs: the Terraforming, the Disc Coliseum. This is the only 1-of. Sick. And then 2 revolving switch yards. So I want to talk about this card for a second. So obviously, I'm only playing 2 this time. Last time I was playing 3, because worst case scenario, if you open 2, you could discard 1 for its effect. But after testing, there was a couple times I would just be like, I don't fucking need this card at 3. Obviously, we're playing Terraforming now. Last list, I wasn't playing Terraforming. I was just maxing out on this and not playing Disc Coliseum, I think. But revolving switch yard at 2 is completely fine with Terraforming. So. And then the not last spell. 2 Desires. Obviously, this whole deck is 3 ofs, so it's completely fine. If you hate this card, I would suggest at least playing 1, but I still think 2 is completely fine. So.
Pot agreed.
Yeah, pot agreed. Let's go. And then obviously 3 Book of Moon. This is probably one of the best cards in the deck too. Like I said, it's Protect the Castle. And then the last spell card is also another Protect the Castle card. So 3 Lance. The funny thing about this card too is a lot of the time, like, they'll just start trying to Book a Moon and trying to Eclipse it. Like a lot of the time too, they'll waste 2 book cards on it. Like, they'll go regular Book a Moon, target it, and you'll just Lance it, and you'll be like, that's fine. And then they'll chain Eclipse, and then you chain the Dora. So they wasted 2 cards for your 1, and then they just still can't deal with the Dora, which I thought was just really cool. So and then for the traps, so this was like one of my MVP cards. I'm only playing 2 of it though. I don't think you ever need 3 of this card. The EMR. So the thing about this card too, with the Night Express Night, this card, you normal summon this card. Its attack becomes 0. This tributes a machine and then pops a card on your opponent's board per 1,000 of its original attack. So if you normal this, it's still, you can just, if your hand is that bad, you could just go normal, set this, and then it pops 3. That's like worst case scenario, which hasn't come up for me, but EMR has just been incredible. So 2 of it for sure. I would never play 3. And then the rest of the traps, 3 Skill Drain, of course, 3 D Barrier, and 3 Gozen. I mean, that's what what are we doing here, guys? You know what I'm saying? So
forget about it.
Forget about it, huh? All right, and then for the extra deck, the extra dip. All right, we are playing 3 Dora. I think 3 Dora is completely fine. This is like where I was comfortable at with this extra deck because you don't really need a whole lot of cards for this deck. 3 Dora, 3 Gustav,
Best card.
3 Juggernaut Liba, dude. And then the other one, shout out my boy John for letting me use the Zeus. 2 Zeus. Zeus was completely fine. A lot of the time too, you never make Zeus. Like you'll like end up going into the thing. Sometimes Juggernaut Lieb, whatever. But you already have the traps, and you don't want to wipe your own traps. Obviously, you could still slap down the Zeus for sure, which you would do, but you never really use it. Especially if you have Gozen up, you can't use it anyways. But you know what I'm saying. So, and then I'm playing 4 Links. This is a second Anger Knuckle. I just don't have 2 for some reason. This card's very good. There is a flex spot. You could flex this out for a second Pentastag if you wanted to. Pentastag is another card that's just been incredible for me for this deck. This is mainly going second, though. I'm going to explain this card in a little bit in honorable mentions. And then the last link is the Zibalista. There's nothing in this deck that this searches. This is another just going second card. Both of these are going to be talked about in 1 second. They're like, why are you playing that, bro? So for the honorable mentions, you guys noticed I didn't have Urgent Schedule in the main deck. I don't think you need this card going first game 1. I think you side the 3 and then you're completely fine because you usually side in this and like Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse or whatever. Sometimes even Droplet. Like Droplet is actually just still. I think Droplet's still very good. The only time it's not good is against the cash matchup. And the Pentastag, touching the Juggernaut Liba. Gives it piercing, and a lot of the time the sprite board just walls up too, so this is definitely honorable mention. I'm not meaning that, like I said, so. And then the last honorable mention is the it's just kind of there. It's the 3 Torrential. I mean, the card's very good. With Dora or whatever. To protect the castle, it's just, Dora's always going to live through any of this shit. So, like, they'll start really playing into Dora, trying to fucking get rid of it, and then you flip Torrential, and they're like, yep, all right, see you later. But also the Ballista, popping this to add a 10 from deck to make a guy 0, and then they're dead. Just want to note that. But I think the Pentastag and all that stuff is definitely worth testing. But I think for right now, for this list anyways, I think the Urgent Schedule should definitely be in the side, not the main. Yeah, guys, that's the train profile I got for you today. I had a lot of fun with this deck. Let me know if you guys enjoyed that, what decks you want to see and all that stuff, and I'll see you guys later. Cheers.